Of course I would decide to do this while I'm wearing like a sweater shirt. Quite brownsy bronze. Brownsy bronze. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel and to today's video. I had a subscriber ask that I do a video talking about spicy neutrals, and so I've pulled a bunch of palettes from my eyeshadow palette collection to do some swatching and show you some of the most interesting neutral colors I have in my whole collection. I'm not wearing any eyeshadow today, but I am wearing a lip oil from ColourPop in the shade Paper Pansy, this bright purple blush from Colored Raine, it's the shade Butterfly, and a purple highlighter from my Aurora Glow kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I do have a little bit of makeup on my face, but honestly, I just don't really feel like it today, and that's okay. So let's talk about eyeshadow without wearing any eyeshadow, because who cares, right? I'm gonna be showing you a bunch of palettes, and I'm gonna have to be doing some swatches. I have to go get a towel to wipe off my finger between them, but this is gonna be a good time. Of course I would decide to do this while I'm wearing like a sweater shirt, because forearm space. Now, I'm not great at the whole swatching forearm thing. I'm pretty awkward, quite frankly, but it's okay. It does not matter. Let's start off with this palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is the Lure palette, and I was thinking that this is kind of pretty neutral. This one right here, and maybe this one. So I'm going to swatch them both because they're both beautiful. This is a really, really bronze color, but this one over here, it's sort of like a light champagne orange with some pink in it. That's pretty. Do you guys see those shifts? It's a pretty recent thing in my life where I've actually begun to appreciate neutrals. I used to think that they were just boring, but now I look at some palettes, not all neutral palettes, but I do look at some and I think, oh, that's actually quite lovely. And I'm starting to see the beauty in the different undertones and the warmth versus the coldness and just I don't know. It's like a different game from colorful eyeshadow, and yet it's still fun and pretty. Here's the Sashimi City. Why did I say Escape Pod? The Sashimi City palette from Kaleidos. And I pulled this one because while this does seem like a pretty boring palette, it's a nice option if these are the colors that you're looking for that day. I'm going to specifically swatch this shade right up here. I'll put that here, which is a beautiful light-toned sparkly shimmer. It's actually kind of similar to this one right next to it, except it doesn't have the orange base. So I see kind of pink, gold, champagne-y sorts of reflects. It's pretty though. Just realized I was wearing my glasses. I'm sorry, let me take those off because they were probably giving you some kind of glare. Okay, now I have the Sea Talk palette from Oden's Eye, and this is honestly, it's one of my favorite Oden's Eye palettes. It's just beautiful. I want to swatch this one right here. This is perfectly fine. I think this would be quite similar to that, so I'm not going to bother swatching it, but this one right here, this is called Smoky Pearl, and it's really, really lovely. Let's swatch it here. In the pan, it looks like quite a cool toned brown, but then when you use it, you see it's actually got a lot of purple as well. And it's just got this beautiful, cooler sort of base. Could be pinky, could be purpley. And that's what I'm saying about neutrals. Like, if you saw this in the pan, you're probably not thinking that it goes purple, but look at it against the swatch. All of a sudden, it's not brown anymore. It's purple, right? And it's sneaky, but beautiful. So this one you might think is a neutral, but then when you actually use it, you're a bit surprised. So pretty. So, so pretty. Actually fantastic. Fantastic match for my shirt. Let's just take a little whisper of Smoky Pearl, because it's so pretty. Oh my goodness. I wasn't planning on doing that, but now I'm invested. I'm all in. Let's go. This video is going to be all over the place. I'm sorry. It'll still be fun. And shoot, we get to talk about eyeshadow, look at swatches, and compare spicy neutrals, so I am not complaining. Perfect one and done. If I ever do a video about one and done shades, that one is definitely going to be featured. What's Up Beauty? This is their Geodes palette. They have such a beautiful formula, and I wasn't sure about this palette because it is neutral, but as far as spicy neutral shimmers, not so much, except maybe this one. I'm not sure. I think this one might lean a little bit too purple as well. But I'm gonna swatch it. It's called Earth-like. Yeah, Earth-like. And I'll swatch it here next to Smoky Pearl so we can compare what I think might end up looking kind of purple, except maybe with some brown in it as well. It doesn't have the best shine, but yes, it's actually quite a warm brown base. That swatch is dreadful, I'm sorry, but it's quite a warm brown base with a little bit of a purple lean as well. Now let's swatch one that I always have fun playing with. This is my favorite palette from Nomad. It is the Monteverde Cloud Forest, and I want to play with this shade up here, which is called Hanging Bridges. It's a green, brown, pink shifting shade. We'll put that right here. In this swatch, it's looking really green, but do you see the pink and do you see the brown? It's such a fun color. You can actually get quite a neutral look from that very colorful palette if you use this Hanging Bridges shade. Look at the green, it's like a lime green, but it has pink in it, and it has sort of a brown, almost a brown base, or like a yellowy base that leans brown. It's a really interesting shade, and in the pan, you might not expect it. It's quite the multichromatic color with sort of like low impact, so you can get something a little bit safer feeling, but still have some fun with a spicy neutral flair. An OG palette, the Plain Jane original version. This one has a couple of really lovely, more neutral leaning tones. I think I'm gonna swatch ACI 1, 2, it's hard to tell. This one's looking a little too pink for me to call it a neutral, so I'll go over here to ACI 5. So 1, 2, 5. And I would swatch this one because of how it looks in the pan, but I know firsthand that it actually comes off really blue in real life. So let me just swatch these three. I'm sorry if my swatches are dreadful. I did give you a disclaimer in the beginning of the video, but these are really beautiful, very lightweight, very sparkly. On the whole, I like the Adept Shimmer formula. Quite bronzy brown right here, and then this one has more of a red gold flick to it. And over here again, we have a lighter champagne with pink. That seems to be rather consistent with these two over here as well. But just a lightweight, sparkly shimmer. It's my favorite. I love lightweight, sparkly shimmers. I've recently bought a second Gourmand Girls palette, one which I had wanted for quite a while. This is their Spooked palette. It's pretty popular. For spicy neutrals, I'm gonna grab this one here, which is called Spirit. This is looking like a simple gold shimmer, so I'm not gonna pick that one up. And this one's spicy, but it's not neutral. So here's the shade Spirit. Again, quite bronze. I don't know why I can't say that right today. Quite bronze, very impactful, high shine, super metallic, just lovely. It's not as orangey bronze as this, and not as browny bronze as this, but it's got a lot more of a higher reflect, so it's catching the light. It might have a splash more gold in it as well. And no surprise, the Flying Fiddles palette from Adept. This was given to me by a subscriber. I'm totally delighted by it, and this one's got a lot of much more neutral tones. I'm going to swatch Dahlia, which in the pan is looking like a pink green, and I'm going to pick up Meadow Foam because that one looks to be like a brownie pink. And these three really are not looking very spicy or shifty to me, but I'm going to grab this one, which is called Arasema. Maybe Arasema. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think I'll swatch them right here. 1, 2, ooh, oh, they're so pretty. Okay, so this multi-chrome, this first one I grabbed is gold, pink, green. The second one is sort of a brown purple. I think the purple is quite subtle, but I do feel like I see a bit of purple in there. And then this one over here, Arasema, is sort of a silver-based brownie rose kind of thing. I'm not sure how that's going to translate on camera. What if I go this way? That might be better. But they're all so pretty. And I mean, I've seen swatches of this palette where people swatch the entire thing, and there are a couple of shimmers that look a little similar to other shimmers. They're different. They're just a little similar, but they're all beautiful. And I've got 2 more palettes here. The Cold Moon palette from Raine has a couple of really lovely shades in here. As far as spicy neutrals, it's, you know what, it's hard to tell because the shifts in this palette are so strong. When I'm looking directly at them, like these three over here are kind of hitting me as gold-ish, goldy pink. But then when I look this way, I see pinky orange, and then I see like a silver. I think I just swatched this one, which is called Aurora. Oh, this one now I'm seeing is silver, pinky purple. Do you guys see all the different flips in this palette? I think I'm just gonna swatch Aurora because the others are looking to be just so wildly different. I don't know that they can count as neutral. I mean, if it flips turquoise, it's not really a neutral, but here is Aurora. And in this swatch, I see gold, green, pink again. Seems to be kind of a common colorway, particularly for the multichromes. I don't know anything about formulation of multichromes. I don't know if there are certain pigments that are just easier to obtain or more affordable, and maybe that's why sometimes they seem to have the same kind of flips. And finally, the Sorceress Smoke palette, also from Unearthly. Beautiful. It's kind of like Flying Fiddles and in the neutral shimmer zone. But I'm going to swatch Sorceress and Potent. And I'm running out of space, so that's just fine. Here's Sorceress and here's Potent. They're both kind of pinky brown. Potent is definitely more pink, I think. That's this one up here. And then Sorceress has, oh, let's see. Sorceress has sort of a silver flip to it, doesn't it? Do you see that on camera? I'm not sure what's actually translating as far as what you guys are able to see. I do all of my filming with my iPhone, and so I am at the mercy of the iPhone technology when it comes to filming. But there you go, guys. Some really beautiful spicy neutrals, swatched and compared, and they're just so pretty. You know, we have some multi-chromes, we have some duochromes, we have some that are just a beautiful neutral with a little bit of extra fun or flair. And that's that. So I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you so much for being here today. Be sure to comment below in the description box. Don't comment there. Comment in the comment section. What are some of your favorite palettes with spicy neutrals? Do you have one palette that just has it all? Or do you like to grab this one from that palette and that one from over here? And also tell me how you like to wear spicy neutrals. Do you do a neutral look and throw on some sort of exciting shimmer to keep it grounded and safe, but also switch things up a little bit? Or do you like to pair spicy neutrals with colors? Do you like to do just a one and done like this now? Again, wasn't planning on doing that. That was a little, you know, keeping things interesting. It was just so pretty and it matched my shirt so nicely. Or do you like to do maybe a winged eyeliner with a spicy neutral, just a little flash? Tell me how you like to wear your spicy neutrals. I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you for giving me a piece of your day. Perhaps you'll consider liking and subscribing before you go if you want to see more content like this. And I'll see you again in my next video. Bye. Hi.
So pretty.
What is so pretty?
Yeah.
Oh,
That is so pretty.
it's just one
Is it
color.
one color?
It's one color. It's this one from
I
the
need
Sea Top
that
palette.
color.